everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Mommy show. Today I am very excited to be sharing with you a new series I'm starting called My Expat series. And it's just basically a little clip each month of the questions from you viewers that have sent in to me to get to know more about what it is to live an expat life and have an expat family. So I'm going to do 10 questions each month to share a bit about how it is to be an expat, how it was when I moved here, and the experiences I've had in the last 8 years I've been here. So today I'm going to start off with an easy introduction, basically the 10 questions I get asked the most everywhere I go, whether it's the grocery store or the new schools or meeting new friends with my kids in playgroups. I get asked these 10 questions almost in this order every day. So I probably don't even need to write them down, but just in case I forget any, I have a little cheat sheet in front of me. So I will start off with the number one question: am I Irish? Now, to you, that might be really funny, or maybe you go, oh yeah, I would ask if she was Irish too. And I'm not quite sure why I always get asked this, but I get asked this almost every day. Might be my mixed accent because I've been here a few years, and the pronunciation of R's and Americans are quite similar to Irish, but I get asked, am I Irish? Everywhere I go, every day. Second one is why I moved here. For those that don't know me, I'm American and my husband is British. So we're kind of a half expat family. And I moved here because we were on holiday and we fell in love, a beautiful love story. And he runs a company in the UK, and it's in the financial industry, which you can't really do in America without requalifying. So we decided it was easiest. I could come here, I could work here and make a life for me here, and he could still run his business. So that is why I moved to England from beautiful Seattle. I know everyone wants to know why. And the second one, is it different? And a lot of people think because England speaks English and Americans speak English that it's not that different, maybe a little culture difference, but actually the language is completely different and the culture is completely different. And it was very hard for me my first 2 years of learning how to make friends and how to just move into the culture and be part of the culture, really. And I did struggle. I'm a very loud, bubbly, if you do know me, you will know how much that's true. And I'm cheesy, and I'm your typical stereotypical American. And yeah, so it was hard for me. People are reserved, and so between the culture differences and the language barrier, I could go on all day with the language barrier and how different things are. Even between my husband and I, the first few weeks we lived together, we had no idea what each other were saying. He was saying rubbish, I was saying trash, he was saying boot, and I was saying trunk, and it just gets all mixed up. And so now it's really easy, but in those first few years, and even those first few months, it's really hard to leave your own culture and dive right into another. The next one is, will I ever go back? I get asked this all the time, and of course I have plans to go back. And it may be 5 years, it may be 10, but I do hope one day that I do get back home. But I also would love to travel the world and see more of other cultures and other countries now that I've lived abroad. And even if it's just for a year, I'd love to live in France or Spain and get the experience, and also have my children have the experience. So, do I like it here? I get asked this every day, probably 20 times a day, and it's always an English person asking me, so of course I'm not going to say, yes, I hate it here. And if you asked me probably a year and a half ago, I probably would have said, I don't like it here, it's hard for me, and I'd love to go back immediately. But actually in the last year and a half, even blogging has changed my life completely. I've made some amazing friends, and it's actually made me realize how many memories, and my kids being born here, and this is part of my kids, I mean, this is their country too, so it's actually become home to me more in the last 2 years. And so no, I don't hate it here anymore. I am still, struggling when something bad happens and you can't just run to your mom, or you don't have a lot of extended family around. That's hard. But other than that, it is becoming more of a home for me. Are my children dual nationality? Yes, they are. They're both Americans and English. And so we wanted them to have both birth certificates, both passports, social security numbers, so that they can live wherever they want in the EU or go back to America whenever they want, because at the end of the day, they're part of both countries, and that's really important to us. How long have I been here? I've been here about 8 years. Actually, September, it will be 8 years completely. And in those 8 years, so much has changed, so much has happened. And I never thought I'd be living in England. So it surprised me as well. What do I like most about living abroad? Well, the major benefit is living so close to other amazing countries that I love to visit. If you know my blog or have been watching my channel, we love to travel. So we like to hop over to France or Spain or go to different places and show our kids just as much of the world as we possibly can. So I really wouldn't be able to do that if I lived in America. There'd be 50 states to share with them instead of countries, I suppose. But there is a big benefit of living so close to so many other amazing countries as well. What food do I love the most? And being a foodie, that's really hard. And as the years go by, I think you guys get more American food imported, so it's harder to pinpoint exactly what we miss because you can get it here now. But for drinks, I would definitely say Snapple. I miss Snapple. I could drink Diet Peach Snapple all day long. So if you ever want to buy me a present, send me a big box of Diet Peach Snapple if you could ever find it. My alcoholic beverage, I miss apple martinis. You can't really get apple liqueur here like you can back home. I think it's called apple pucker. And we did try to get it at the duty free once. And they made us throw it away because we had to go through another checkpoint on another flight. And so we were really sad. And food-wise, I would say it has to be the candy. I know your chocolate is way better. I will give you that all day long. But I miss like little Skittles taste the same here for some reason. Ours tastes a bit sweeter and softer. Maybe it's because it's export and they've got a bit stale. Not sure. And a Symphony candy bar. You can't beat a Symphony. It's got toffee and little nuts and oh, it's just the best candy bar ever. So that's my food and drink envy. When I get home, I always get a big load of it. My mom always has the cupboards packed for me. And the last one I'm going to answer is the hardest adjustment, and that's really a hard one. And if I sit here all day, I could talk about it and cry on your shoulders, but I will try to keep this as friendly and upbeat as possible because this is your country. Most of you are watching that live in the UK, but the hardest adjustment for me has been friendships. And I think for me, oh, I'm getting choked up again. I think for me, the first few years, that's what made it so hard because a lot of friendships in England seem to have a close-knit friend, like a circle of friends, and they make you work to get in those tight-knit circles. And I think I really struggle with that because I'm just walk up to a stranger and, hi, how are you? And hug you and, oh, you're my friend. And we're friendly to every stranger back home, and the bubbly culture that I was raised in is very different here. So I think the friendship was the hardest thing for me, and I think having kids actually helped that because it made me focus on my children and not focus on how many friends I didn't have. And then blogging came into my life and it brought me amazing friends and friends that I see on a regular basis outside of blogging now, and that has actually made my life so much easier and so much more positive. And I thank all of you for that because really that's where it came from, and I wouldn't have friends without my blogging. And I wouldn't say, if my friends are watching this, I do have one or two friends that I have met outside of blogging in the UK, but those first 5 years were really, really tough for me, and not having friends when I didn't have children to focus on. So that would be probably my hardest adjustment. So that's my 10 questions today for my new expat series. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below. I'll add it to the list and I'll be sure to answer them all. So keep them coming, and I hope you've enjoyed my first round of my expat life. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.